Hello, I am the Reverend Stephen Poss, chaplain of St Peter's Chapel in Bradwell-on-Sea, and welcome to the first of our chapel summer evening services throughout July and August. Usually we would have these services in the chapel, but under the current restrictions and due to the large gatherings down at the chapel and at the beach at weekends, we have decided to have these services online. Today's reading, which I would like to speak on, is taken from the lectionary for this evening's prayer, Psalm 56, and it is entitled Trusting God Under Persecution. So, as God always speaks to us very timely and very about the appropriate subject, I'm going to read this psalm first and then share some thoughts on the psalm afterwards. Psalm 56. Be gracious to me, O God, for people trample on me. All day long foes oppress me. My enemies trample on me all day long, for many fight against me. O Most High, when I am afraid, I put my trust in you. In God, whose word I praise, in God I trust. I am not afraid. What can flesh do to me? All day long they seek to injure my cause. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They stir up strife. They lurk. They watch my steps. As they hope to have my life, so repay them for their crime. In wrath cast down the peoples, O God. You have kept count of my tossings. Put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your record? Then my enemies will retreat in the day when I call. This I know that God is for me. In God whose word I praise, in the Lord whose word I praise. In God I trust, I am not afraid. What can a mere mortal do to me? My vows to you I must perform, O God. I will render thank offerings to you. For you have delivered my soul from death and my feet from falling, so that I may walk before God in the light of life. In our psalm reading today, the psalmist speaks of his trust in God alone. And this is a great message for us at this time. Perhaps the most striking feature of this psalm is the repeated combination of fear and trust, which is very human-like to me. The psalmist looks forward to the time of salvation. Although he seems to speak as an individual, trampled by enemies, speaking cruel words, and in danger of people eager for his life, a national picture appears in the expression for the foes. These are wherein and numerous peoples or nations to be cast down in the fury of the warrior God. The sufferer, the psalmist, can therefore be understood as a king, bearing in his own soul hostilities against his land and nation from other peoples. Some scholars believe this to be the story of King David in 1 Samuel 21 or 1 Samuel 27. He appeals to God to bring down the pride of human armies, and he looks forward to serving in peace before the face of God. Through the great number of assailants, he calls for God's speedily help. How can he be trusted? God's word, with his commitments and promises, are to be praised and wholly trustworthy. The true power of God will surely come. The psalmist sets the word of God, praising that word. He is enabled to trust and to cast out fear, perceiving the emptiness of human might in comparison with the power of God. At the same time, he brings his grief to God and penitence for sins, for he knows that every tear is taken up and treasured by God. What a lovely thought for us to dwell on and reflect on this evening. We know the Lord promises in his word to bring us abundant life and life to the full. So we who are also suffering at this time, like the psalmist, although in different ways, we are to join in with the psalmist to read this psalm this evening, to put our trust in God alone and in his word, to lead us out of this pandemic and back into life, and to a life that is full. Amen. God bless you all.